So I'm here today with Cheryl Taylor, who is a natural trichologist, and we're going to discuss all things hair. So if you're getting to the point where you've got thinning hair, or you're just worried that your hair isn't looking as good as it should, what we're going to discuss today is the mythbusters, all that stuff that you see online of things that are guaranteed to fix your hair. Will they? Well, you might be quite surprised by some of the things that you think are going to be really good really aren't. So, Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of hair, shall we take a quick thing about what it is that you do? Because trichologist isn't a word that most people have come across, I wouldn't have thought. So can you quickly explain that, and then we'll dive straight into what the problems are and how people can fix them.
So it's all about studying of hair and what can cause thinning hair, hair loss, scalp conditions. So that's what tri is, hair, and ology is the study of. So that's what trichology is.
Oh, I didn't know tri was hair.
Yeah, trich, T-R-I-C-H. Yeah.
Okay. And so you had a practice out of Harley Street, but you've moved to Colchester now. And are you still seeing clients, or are you doing most stuff online? How are you working?
I'm not seeing many clients now. I'm really trying to develop the product range so that it means that people can actually get a benefit with the hair and scalp without having to see me. So it's really developing that whole process. So the treatments, the shampoos, the lotions, everything, so that it's just a system that people can use themselves at home.
Okay, so regardless of why the hair's come out, there are certain steps that you've got to take to reinstate it. So in some respects, it doesn't really matter that whether you've seen it under a microscope. Is that what you're saying?
It is. I mean, a lot of people want to see their hair under the microscope because it is fascinating. And then by seeing the root of the hair under the microscope, it gives me an inkling as to what has been going on. So whether that's malnutrition, malabsorption, stress, hormonal differences, root level hair breakage. So the microscope can really show quite a lot with the hair analysis that I do, which is really quite unique.
Oh, wow. So how can you tell the difference then between a stress fallout and a malabsorption?
The colour of the hair, for starters. So good hair with plenty of nutrition and with absorption is really brightly coloured. I call it my unicorn hair. So it's yellow and pink and blue, and it's got all these fabulous colours. And that is the vitamins, minerals and trace elements that has been uptaken into the blood to actually make the hair nutritionally strong. If the hair is white, if it shows very white under the microscope, then that is often an anemic hair. Now, that doesn't mean to say that the person is anemic, but it means that the hair doesn't have the right amount of nutrients, and it's very, very white and fine generally. Sometimes the hair looks black and see-through with like little speckles of yellow running through them. I call that my tiger tail hair, and that can be that it's lacking in cysteine. So often people that don't supplement, if they're cutting out whole food groups like red meats, they're not getting the cysteine in their diet, then the hair looks completely different again. Then even the bulbs of the hair look different if you're perimenopausal, menopausal, if it's male or female pattern hair loss. And then if it hasn't got a bulb on at all and it's broken off, then that can be a stress condition or a scalp condition that's not very healthy. So if you've got a lot of build-up of oil and sweat and dead skin cells, this can actually demineralize the hair and make the hair sort of less strong. So it's quite susceptible to breakage root level, amongst other things.
If someone's had stress or malabsorption or whatever's going on, how long does it take for that to show up in the hair? Because presumably it's not overnight.
It can be.
Oh, right.
It absolutely can be. So I've noticed sometimes when people have gone on these sort of fasting diets, or if they have had I think at one point there was like the 5-2. So on the 5 days they were eating nutritious food, and on the 2 days they tended to eat just a little bit of rubbish. And I could tell it was almost like you had colour, less colour, colour, less colour.
Because fasting is meant to be so good for you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it absolutely is. But if it's prolonged and you're not actually giving the body the nutrition it needs when you are eating, then yeah, that can be a problem.
Yes, because it is quite a major stressor, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So yes, you are. That's how it's working, because it's burning through all the old dead cells, and
and also you're throwing toxins into the body.
Yes, of course. So that's going to come out in the hair.
And one of the ways we detox is through our lipids. So our liver, kidneys, bowels, lymphatic system, skin. But the lipids is a way to actually detox through, which is how an oily scalp, if you have a genetic hair issue, your the DHT, which is the dihydrotestosterone, which is the sensitive hormone, which miniaturizes the hair and makes the hair fall out prematurely, actually is coming through the lipids. So if you've got an oily scalp and you have this sensitivity to testosterone and it's coming through the oil, then that's almost miniaturizing, killing the hair, literally root level, because it's coming through those oils.
So if someone's suffering from that, what can they do?
They need to keep their scalp really well balanced, so not too much oil. And this is where the overstimulation comes in. So there's many medications, topical medications that people use. There's plant matter that people use, like rosemary, which is a stimulant on the hair and the scalp, which sounds like an amazing idea if you want to grow hair.
You can make it yourself.
Absolutely. Rosemary oil mist and put it in with different oils. But if you've already got an overstimulated scalp and it's already hot and sweaty and oily and maybe really uncomfortable and sensitive, if you stimulate, you're literally going to stimulate all of that problem.
So it sounds like it's a lot like sort of with gardening. If you feeding, people think they've got to spray fertilizers on the plants and put it all around, but really it's the soil health that creates healthy, strong plants, not what you bung on top. So it sounds like the hair and the scalp, exactly the same type of thing.
Exactly the same. That's a great analogy, because if you've got a really good conditioned scalp and you put an oil on with rosemary or a mist or whatever it is, it's not really going to cause a problem for you because you've already got a really good scalp. But if your scalp's unhealthy and you do that, you're really going to notice something very quickly. Within literally a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, you may start getting spots in your scalp because those oils are blocking up the hair follicle. And it's making all the system underneath, the blood supply, the oil, the sweat, the nerve endings underneath the scalp, it makes everything overstimulated. And then before you know it, you feel like you've got a head full of pimples and hot, sweaty, oily, and sometimes that itself can make the hair fall out.
So is there a symptom that people should look for prior to the hair falling out? Because presumably by the time the hair's falling out, you've got quite a problem. So what should people look out for before they get to that stage?
It can be lots of different things. It can be weeks and months of not sleeping properly. Now, if you're a new mum, that's probably something that is going to be happening. So you've got all the hormonal changes from just giving birth to a baby, and then maybe not sleeping for a couple of months. So, and then you've got the hormonal changes. So that would be something that I would definitely prep for prior. So you can do things prior to when you think you may be getting a problem. So if you've got a stressful couple of months at work coming up, or if you're traveling a lot, you can put things into place prior to that. But if it sort of suddenly comes out of nowhere, your hair, the hair that you see falling may have died 3 months ago. So the hair's falling out now, may have died 3 months ago, but the problem may have been 6 months prior to that. So really, you have to look back 9 months to 18 months to when the problem may have started. And not many people can look back that far to know exactly what happened.
Okay. So for the majority of hair loss, and I know it's difficult if there's different things that have caused it, but Is how important is diet versus what people can put on, or is it just everything? They've got to get everything right to have good hair.
It is everything, because you can't supplement yourself out of a poor diet.
Mm-hmm.
So adding a supplement in when you're already drinking rubbish drinks and eating rubbish food and not getting enough sleep, supplementing it's a bit like putting a band-aid on a wound.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a bit of a result, but you're never going to get a clear 100% turnaround. So it's more about reduction. So it's taking things out. So things that you have in your diet, things that you do, it's removing the bad stuff.
Okay, so like seed oils, sugar, alcohol, all the things that
all the things we know that we love, that we know we shouldn't be doing, and if that is the problem, then removing those, and maybe supporting the body for a short period of time with a supplement, rather than making it all about the supplement.
Okay. And what scalp treatments can people put on to clear the pores so that the hair can grow freely? And because, you know, online you see a lot of these oils where they say put that on, but obviously from what you've said, that's not a good plan because it's going to block the hair follicle from coming up. So what should people do? What's the first step? They sorted out the diet, but they want to do some extra help. Then what do they do?
Well, this is the reason why I created this system. So the very first thing is the D2 lotion, which is the deep cleanse and detox lotion. So it breaks down any build-up in the hair follicle. It's nice, calming and soothing. It reduces inflammation in the hair follicle. So that's the very first thing. It's a lotion that you would apply a couple of times a week overnight, and then you shampoo the hair the next day. And if you do nothing else, that is where I would recommend that you start.
Okay, I need to get some more of that then. And everything that you make, is it 100% natural, or presumably you have to have some preservatives in things?
Yeah.
But it's all as natural as you can get it?
Yeah. All the lotions are 100% natural, even the preservatives.
Okay.
The only, so the shampoo has, I think it's 0.4% that isn't. So it's 99.6% natural.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Unless it's arsenic, of course.
No, it isn't.
But, okay.
It's one of those things that with the lotions, you put them on the scalp and they generally, you're not going to use too much, so it's not going to run down your face really. But with the shampoo, it's in the bathroom. You're going to use it in the shower. It might run in your eyes. It's running all over your body. Your child might pick it up and use it in the shower, you know, without you knowing. So it's really important that didn't grow microbes in it. So that's why the preservative system had to be really quite robust. And yeah, so that's why that is 99.6% natural.
Because I remember you telling me a while ago how stringent and how you test all your stuff, and you said there's lots of people like on Etsy and eBay, they're making their own little brews, and it all sounds lovely. They send them off and you're saying, oh God, there could be all sorts in that.
There could be, because even buying one ingredient and sitting it in a cupboard for 6 months without using it, it can go out of date without you even using it. So it's sort of buying good quality products and using them when I get them. And then once they're in the product, you've got 2 years on the product because of obviously the preservative system. Yeah, they go off to independent labs and they stress test them. So what they do, they try and break it. They try and split it, they try and break it, they try and grow mould and fungus and bacteria on it. And after about 6 to 10 weeks of whatever, I think they freeze it and thaw it. And then it comes back with a certificate. Yeah, we managed, we didn't break it, and it's lovely. So there you go. Yeah.
That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you know, basically you're safe with anything that you get from you, that although you're making this yourself, that it's you've gone through the processes because you've been trained to know this has to be spot on, so that, you know, people aren't exposing themselves inadvertently to toxins. So do you want to talk us through your product range and what each one does? And
Absolutely. So the actual hero product is the D2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one that you get sort of 3 to 4 treatments out of one bottle. You give it a shake to activate. You press down, and then you've got the little nozzle already there to use directly from the bottle. Now, this is what you would use a couple of times a week at night. Our bodies are at our most relaxed and detoxing at night. So you're feeding and you're healing. So you put the lotion on at night and you sleep in it. And this is what reduces the inflammation in the hair follicle, and it unblocks the hair follicle. So the first time you use it, within the first couple of weeks, you are gradually going down, down, down into the hair follicle to just help it become really lovely and clear. Okay, so that's you've got natural white willow bark in there, which is the natural form of aspirin. So that's what's in there, and that's why you get a really lovely cooling sensation when you pop that on. So that's I would say the number one product that you would definitely start with. The 2 shampoos, they're actually quite identical, apart from one thing, and that's the essential oils that's in it. So with the Phyto Defense, it's sort of anti-age because you've got neroli, which is really beautiful.
That's my favourite, that
I
one.
know.
I
must admit, it's probably mine as well. So you've got the natural uplifting scent of neroli, plus it's anti-age, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So that would be for dry scalps, dry hair. Maybe if you wasn't, if you felt a little bit low. You know, sometimes we do when we have sort of hair and scalp issues. It's just beautiful. And then the Phyto Sensation, this is peppermint and eucalyptus.
It is a sensation.
It is definitely a sensation.
It's
so
a good
you get that
shampoo,
really
isn't it?
cooling. It is. It's your morning shampoo. It's your hot and sweaty. And ladies going through the menopause when they're having hot flushes, they absolutely love this. Men going up the gym, you know, the men love this because they love that cooling peppermint sensation. So that's the only difference between the 2 shampoos. You've got keratin, elastin, plant proteins, hyaluronic acid, and an ingredient which is from oranges, and it's a protein, and it acts as an anti-frizz. Plus all the detergents in there are from plants, either coconut or so coconut and plant matter is creating
don't give
the
away
detergents.
all your top secrets.
No. So you've got really, really lovely ingredients in there. And the hyaluronic acid is great because it not only hydrates the skin, but it actually hydrates the hair as well. So again, if you've got a tendency for flyaways, that is really, really good. Then we've got the V4 and the P3. Now, funny enough, when I first started, I wasn't making my own products because I didn't know anything about doing that. So I went to a formulator and said, this is what I want in a product. I want a deep cleanse, I want a shampoo and a leave-in lotion. And that was pretty much it. So anyway, weeks went past and she said, right, can you come? And she said, I've got them ready for you. I'd like you to come over. So anyway, I went over and there's these 2 bottles sitting on the surface. And I said, what's that? And she said, well, because of the amount of actives that you wanted into the leave-in lotion, I couldn't put them all in there, so I've had to split it. Because there's only a limit of the amount of active ingredients that you can have in a product to be effective.
Oh.
So, you know, when you see an ingredient list and it's sort of like, you know, the 10 Commandments, often the active ingredients are so minuscule, it's not going to make a difference anyway.
Right.
So she wanted the active ingredients to be at a certain level, normally about 1% of the overall. So anyway, there's these 2. So she said, so she split it. So we've got almost like they're both feeding, they've both got DHT blockers. So the DHT is the dihydrotestosterone, which causes thinning hair and hair loss in male and female pattern hair loss. They've both got blends of essential oils in there. They're both a base of witch hazel which again
Very
is
cleaning,
for
isn't it? And
really
astringent.
cleansing. It's also encouraging circulation underneath the scalp without overstimulating. And then there is liposomal hemp extract, liposomal caffeine, and I'll talk about that in a minute because I don't often like stimulating ingredients, and that is one of them. And in here, there's lupin extract, there's quinoa protein. So again, there's lots of ingredients that are feeding the hair at root level. In fact, liposomal caffeine is really, really good for atopic dermatitis, so for skin issues. And that's why that's in there, is for the skin issue part. They both contain probiotics, even though one is called a probiotic. They both contain pre and probiotics. So again, you've got the beautiful, it's helping the scalp environment, so it helps the hair thrive and grow without being under an overstimulating environment.
Because all the natural shampoos and things I'd used up until yours, I'd given up. Because I ended up with herbal essences, because I have no idea if it actually had any herbs in it or not, but every one that was definitely natural, it stripped my hair just dreadfully. So I was better with the cheap old stuff from the supermarket. So I think I said to you, look, everything, my hair's so fine, everything strips it. And you said, no, trust me. And I did use it, and it's like, oh wow, this hasn't stripped my hair.
Yeah.
And so you have to be, they're so strong, anything that you can buy sort of in the health shop and stuff. And I tried everything in lots of different countries, and yours has been the only one that left me with. And it's funny, I was travelling a couple of years ago. I think I left you a testimonial, didn't I? That I'd been travelling. I ran out of shampoo. And I thought, it's all right, I'll go into the Ayurvedic centre and I'll grab some from there. And I didn't really... I was busy. I didn't really notice much difference. It's not till I got home and got back to your shampoo, and it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to stop things to realise exactly how what they've been doing in the first place. And also, just because things are natural doesn't mean to say that they're any good.
No, it doesn't. Well, I can live in testament to that. But also yours, you don't need, because I was getting like a whole handload of shampoo, shoving it on, and you're saying, oh, you only need a tiny amount of yours and it will last a long time.
Well, because the shampoo's been developed to go on the skin dry, means that the detergent can be lower. So if you imagine you grab your bottle of shampoo off the shelf, wherever, doesn't matter what it is, you go into the shower, you wet your hair. Now you may have oily scalp, sweaty scalp, you may have product on your scalp, mousse and hairspray and all of that, and you wet your hair. Then you pour your shampoo into your hand, which most of it is coming through your fingers and dropping on your shower floor. And then you're trying to rub it together and put it on your scalp and actually clean your scalp. That shampoo's got to be a lot stronger because it's got to cut through the water and the oil and the product. So it has to be more cleansing to cut through all of that environment. Whereas because this is applied with an applicator bottle on dry scalp, it doesn't need to be overly stripping on the hair. So it doesn't need the high levels of detergent.
Well, sometimes I forget and just sort of shove it on when I'm in the shower and it still works just fine.
Yeah. But when you're starting and you're using it as a treatment, then you do need to
follow the instructions.
To follow these does help. So that's probably why, because if you're using it on wet hair, then it's going to be even milder because you've already diluted it.
And what about the other two at the front?
So these are the colloidal silver gel. So there's colloidal silver, there's bergamot hydrosol, hyaluronic acid, and panthenol in there. So it's just a really lovely cooling gel on the skin. So if you've got a bite or a sting,
so it's not for hair.
It's not for hair. Okay. However, I do have clients that do use it on their scalp because it's completely water based. If they've got sort of touches of very dry and flaky scalp, or it's a bit sore, people sometimes get sort of sore skin, sore scalps. I say skin because scalp is obviously skin. And if they have had, so if it's been inflamed, then it can help, just maybe around the hairline, that kind of thing. So yeah, but that literally can be used top to bottom.
And what about really severe stuff like alopecia? I do remember you showed some photographs of that poor girl that was really in a dreadful state. How successful? So obviously she was a tremendous turnaround, but how treatable is it? Because doesn't mainstream say, well, if you've got alopecia, that's it, game
Pretty
over,
much.
you're stuck
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly believe this is probably the most successful treatment you can for alopecias. Alopecia means hair loss.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Huh.
So you've got different kinds of alopecia.
Right.
So the patches is alopecia areata. If you lose all your head hair, that's alopecia totalis. If you lose every hair on your body, that's alopecia universalis. And then you've got aphasic, which is losing like the back of the head. Then there's frontal fibrosing. So fibrosing means scarring. So if you've got like a scar in alopecia, that's the only thing you cannot get hair back from is a scar in alopecia. But what you can do is thicken the hair around it so that it's more easy to disguise it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, well, is there anything else that you'd like to say to people before we finish up?
Well, don't give yourself a hard time if things are sort of really showing that, you know, your hair is beginning to thin, because there is definitely something that can be done out there. And I'm always sort of on the end of an email. Even though I'm not seeing clients, I am on the end of an email. And part of the videos that I'm doing is to help people understand how to use as well.
Because you assume with things like menopause, with all the hormonal shifts, so, you know, you're a testament that you've got great hair, so it doesn't have to be the route that mainstream sort of point us to, that it's game over. So,
well, I don't colour my hair, as you know.
Yeah.
And I'm approaching a big birthday this year. So it's definitely testament that it can keep your hair and your scalp young. And again, with even like the mushroom complexes, they're great for balancing the body. So even though I don't believe in supplementation, I do believe in assistance. So if you are experiencing differences, then I do believe that it's all about nutrition and it's food supplementation.
Yes.
So it is about sort of helping the body rebalance and become into a homeostasis. So balancing the body.
Brilliant. Right, well, thank you so much for that. I hope everybody has got a lot of value from this video. And where can people get hold of you and your product, more importantly?
Yeah, so my email is help@growkind.co.uk. And the website is www.growkind.co.uk.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.